Hi, everyone. This week we'll be completing Module 8 and continuing our work on Project 2, which focuses on career exploration. So in Module 8, you will be asked to discuss careers and professions with your classmates, to complete a writing process assignment, and to complete an assignment on commonly confused words. First, you'll see an optional resource, which is titled the Career Coach. This is a career assessment. It's a self-assessment that will help you consider some career areas that may be interesting to you based on some questions that you answer. And so you don't have to complete this assignment, but it is an optional assignment in case you find it helpful. Then there's the Module 8 discussion. In this discussion, you're asked to answer 3 discussion questions about the career or profession you've been reading about. And so in the discussion, share with your classmates 3 things that you've learned. So specific things that you've learned about your careers that you find helpful. Then when you respond to 2 classmates, your goal is to ask questions and offer suggestions. So you might ask questions to help your classmates consider more about their intended careers. Or if you know someone who works in this field, you might offer some suggestions from what you've learned from those that you know in your life. Your first post is due on Thursday, and your 2 responses are due on Sunday. After that, you'll see that there's a writing process assignment. And so this assignment asks you to complete a writing process for a career exploration report. So you're asked to develop some ideas through free writing. You'll see several questions that ask you to share information you've learned about the career you've been researching. Try to write as much as you can for the free writing questions. I suggest this because it'll be easier for you then when you move on to writing your report next week. And so you'll see questions about the salary for the career, the time that it takes to complete education and training for the career, and alternate careers in case you decide to look into something related but different to your intended career. All of these questions will help you think about ideas you could use for your report when you create it. The next step of the writing process assignment is to develop an outline for your report. So you'll see kind of a sample structure for an outline. You're welcome to use that sample structure, but basically what you're asked to do is to list some ideas you're going to use for an introduction paragraph, for body paragraphs, and your conclusion for the report that you'll start developing next week. And so think about maybe, at least 3 important topics you've learned about in your career and some examples and details that you've read about as you completed your assignments in the previous module. In the third step, you're asked to describe your purpose and to consider your audience for your report. And so these are writing process questions that will help guide your thinking as you develop your report. As you complete the writing process assignment, be sure to avoid plagiarism. What this means is if you use exact words from an outside source, put quotation marks around the exact words. Or if you're summarizing something that you've read, give credit, right, to the original source. You might use phrases like according to the occupational handbook or as described in the occupational handbook, and then summarize what you've read. We want to give credit to that source that we've read so that we are careful to avoid plagiarism. And if you need any help with this, please let me know. I'd be happy to help you. Then you'll see the commonly confused words assignment. You'll see a resource that looks like this, where there are letters that you can select to see words that are often confused in writing. For instance, accept or accept. And if you click on accept, you'll see a definition of what that means with an example versus accept. If you click on that, you'll see a definition and an example. And so this resource is there to help you, learn about some words that are commonly mixed up in writing. After you've gone through the resource and learned about some of these words, then go ahead and open up the commonly confused words assignment. You'll see a series of words listed. So the first, or one of the examples, is there, right? They all sound the same. They all get confused often. And so you're asked to take those words and to create at least one sentence using the words. If you'd like to, if there's 3 words, you could create 3 sentences, or you can do as I did and create one whole sentence. There, which means they are going over there, right? A location to get their supplies. And that's a possessive pronoun there, right? It belongs to them. And so as you see these words that are commonly confused, create a sentence in which you use the words in the correct way. Or if you'd like, again, if you'd like to create more than one sentence, you're welcome to. We just want to make sure we use the words in the correct way that they're intended. Then you'll see the module checklist. And like always, this is here to help you make sure you've completed the weekly tasks. And if you have any questions as you're completing the work this week, feel free to let me know. As you're planning out your report, think about what you found most interesting or helpful with your career that you've chosen. Keep in mind that we'll be writing our reports next week in Module 9. And so if you'd like to get ahead, you could go ahead and start working on your report this week. You'll be asked next week, next Wednesday in the next module, to post your report to the discussion area. So if at all possible, I would encourage you to kind of get started on developing some paragraphs, and you could go ahead and start Module 9 a little early if you have time. If you have questions, reach out to me. Have a great week. Thank you. Bye-bye.